Welcome back to another video. So today we are going to discuss, sorry, the group chat is blowing up. If you have a group chat, you already know. Close this door, we can get some quiet stuff going on in here. So today's video we are talking about what I take to clinical with me. I had a request in the comments to make this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this out for the person asking, and anybody else who I guess can get something out of the video or relate or whatever. Start a discussion below what you take to clinical with you, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna start with, you know, the basics, what every nursing student should have: a stethoscope. Okay, this is my stethoscope. It's a Littman Cardiology 3, I believe. This was my own purchase. It was pretty expensive. I want to say it was like $300. It was a birthday gift for getting into nursing school. My husband bought it for me. So you have to have a stethoscope. This is the stethoscope that my school provided for me. It's a decent stethoscope. It's a Littman. I personally just don't like it because I have been using my cardiology stethoscope and it is just like A1. So I stick with that one and I just keep it, you know, just in case another student needs it or whatever. It's usually in my car or in my backpack or something like that. I don't have a lab bag. Everything that I bring to, I mean, lab bag, I don't have a clinical bag. Everything that I bring to clinical with me has to go into my scrubs because there's nowhere in these facilities for us to put our stuff for them to be safe. So everything that I bring has to be on my person the whole time, including my phone and my keys or anything that I want to eat or money or anything like that. I guess also I bring this to clinical. I have to have this to get to clinical. But anyway, so first off is stethoscope. Then after stethoscope, I recommend having a pen light. I like to be over prepared. Not everybody feels that way, but every single time an instructor has asked for something, I have been the only person who had it. When they asked for trauma shears, I had the trauma shears. When they asked for the pen light, I had the pen light. So you may not need it all the time, but on the slight chance that your instructor may say, who has da da da, it looks good when you're the only person who has it or one of the people who have it. So stethoscope, pen light, and then I say trauma shears. You never know what's going to happen. Somebody could go into cardiac arrest. You know, somebody could have anaphylactic shock. They could have, you know, be bleeding out and their clothes are on them. You need to remove their clothing. You never know. It's good to have trauma shears, just to cut bandages, tape, anything like that. It's just good to have these. I use these so much in clinical. Like every single, like even the CNAs, the nurses on the floor that work there, they never had trauma shears. And I'm like, which nursing student has, you know, scissors? And I always have them. And it was great for me because if I ever needed to open like ointment or, you know, bandages or anything like that, and I have my gloves on and you don't have very good dexterity, these are great to have. So, you know, I recommend having trauma shears. So stethoscope, pen light, trauma shears. And then I also went ahead and bought a pulse ox, so I could do, let's see, so I could see what my oxygen and stuff like that, not me, but to just have with me. So, you know, if I can't find one in the facility or something like that. Ooh, okay, there we go. I was gonna say, am I alive? But I went ahead and purchased a pulse ox. I think it was like 25 bucks on Amazon. I keep it with me. I know that it's not calibrated or whatever the word is, calibered, whatever, to what the hospital wants it to be or whatever. Something my instructor was telling me, so it's not valid results, but for me personally, to just have it if something's going on, I pop it on their finger just to know, like, are your oxygen levels where they need to be? What's your pulse like? Like if I just need it, bam, real quick, like it'll give me the information that I need right now until, you know, the correct machine comes from the facility. So a pulse ox. So then now I have stethoscope, a pen light, trauma shears, and a pulse ox. Those are 4 things that I always keep with me. Now, this is not a requirement, but I had a lot of upperclassmen recommend that I get this, so I went ahead. It is a foldable, I still have paperwork from clinical from last semester. This is a foldable clipboard, so you can fold it and stick it in your scrub pocket. It fits in my scrubs perfectly. And it has like a little cheat sheet on the back. I'll get closer so you can see the little cheat sheet. So you just have like some values, you have, you know, just like where you would do injections, just things that, you know, pain scale, pupil size, just things that you may need to know. And then, you know, you can fold it up and it fits right in your pocket. You can put anything you want to. I usually put, because we have like assignments and stuff for clinical, so I always put my clinical assignments for that day in here and right into my pocket. So there's that. So I have stethoscope, pen light, trauma shears, pulse ox, and a clipboard with me, but that's not it. There's more. I also always keep a little notebook. This notebook was like $1 at Office Max, super affordable, and you know, it has little plastic cubbies in it, so if you needed to like put something in there to hold until the end of the day, and you can just like write notes, any questions you might have. Like, look, I still have, you know, information from when I was at clinical. I'm not going to zoom in on that because it's probably patient information and that cannot show. Don't worry, it's de-identified, so nobody would be able to know who it is. But yeah, so I have my little notebook, and I keep this with me, and then also a pen. Gotta have a pen too, so obviously you can write in your little notebook. I also carry this. This is a planner from Day Designer. It's for 2 years. It's through my whole entire program. And I keep this with me at clinical just in case, like there's like an important day, or they're changing clinical, or there's an important assignment, or just whatever. I jot it down into this little planner, and look how it's like super thin and tiny. It was like $3. So I keep this with me, and then when I get home, I will transfer it into my big planner or on my big calendar on the wall or whatever. And then a tampon. Now, guys, you're not going to understand this, but women, you will. I always keep a tampon in my scrubs, no matter what. You know, most of the time, you know, around when you're going to start your monthly, but I always keep a tampon. I also always keep the little wipes that they sell in Winn-Dixie. They're like Summer's Eve wipes. They come in little individual packets. I always have a few of those in my car, in my purse, and in my backpack. So if, God forbid, I was to, excuse me, I just burped. God forbid I was to start my period, I will have a tampon, because you can never be too safe, and you can't leave the hospital, you know, oh, I bled on myself, I need to leave the hospital, and you know, and I live an hour away from, it's better to just be prepared. And yes, you're in a hospital, they'll probably have tampons or pads or a change of clothes or whatever. Yeah, they'll probably have it, but then you have to go get somebody and get help and tell them, and who wants to do that when you rather just handle it on your own? I personally know that I would. Okay, so tampon. And then obviously my badge reel and my badge. You have to have this so they know who you are, what school you're coming from, and to be able to identify yourself. I always have a mini Sharpie on it, so that way if I need to write on a fluid bag or date a bandage or a dressing or whatever, I have this with me. I have had multiple nurses, doctors, CNAs, PT, everybody has said, oh, do you have a Sharpie? And bam, I always have it. So it's good to have the Sharpie. So, and then I also always bring a protein bar. A protein bar that is, you know, pretty substantial with calories. I want to say usually around 200, 250 calorie protein bar is usually good, because, you know, if you hit the middle of a clinical or something like that and you're just starving and you need to eat something that can give you that pick-me-up, that boost, you need to keep pushing to get through your into your clinical. So, what we need for clinical is obviously stethoscope, pen light, that's important. Ooh. Trauma shears, a pulse ox, planner. Well, you don't have to have this. You could write it in your notebook if you wanted to, but I personally like to have a planner. A notebook with a pen so you can take notes or questions or anything like that, or information you may need to do a care plan or whatever it is your instructor may ask of you. This is a foldable clipboard. I recommend having one of these. It's nice to have something to write on, to put your papers in. You can fold it. It keeps it private. You don't have to worry about anybody seeing information. It's really good. Badge reel with your badge and tampon. And then a protein bar. And I always bring either my Yeti cup with water in it, or Yeti cup with water, or a water bottle and I write my name on the water bottle with a permanent marker. Honestly, I don't usually bring my cup into the facility because it's gross. I usually have a water bottle, and usually if I lose sight of my water bottle, I won't drink out of it again. I'll throw it away and I'll go get a new one. Not saying that anybody did anything to it or anything like that, but you never know. There are patients with, you know, psychiatric issues and stuff like that. So I just find it, you know, safest to just be able to keep an eye on my beverage. And if I can't, then to not drink it after that and to get a new one. But yeah, I hope this video helped anybody. And if you have any more questions or anything like that, feel free to ask. But this is what I take to clinical with me, and I hope it helps anyone who needs it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. And I can't wait for this semester to start and us to continue on this journey together. So I'll see you in the next video.